I'd just like to point out that it's September 11th and this is still going on. We're still catching mice. Upgraded the office, by the way. Just kidding. On vacation. Yep. It's a working vacation. I don't know how well this is gonna be. There's the car. They're at the door. I don't think I can get a good view. I can kind of see them. Them Jehovah Witnesses. I don't understand. You come here. It's like a once a week thing at this point. Like you see the cars in the driveway, and no one answers. Just take a hint. Just take a hint. I don't mean to dox you, but you're probably a menace on the road. So we have a problem here, and that is we are infested with a mouse. God, if only I knew how more serious it was. I don't know, I noticed him a while ago and I just kind of forgot about him, but I can't tell, and I'm pretty sure it might be my fault. I did bring clothes home, so I could have brought him from work, because he really didn't start popping them till after I brought those clothes home. But also, I'm pretty sure I noticed some of his discard upstairs in my kitchen before I brought it home. I'm not too remembering. Before the video even goes on, I just like to point out that this is the amount of people subscribed that watch. What am I doing wrong? So you should subscribe so that the percentage is the opposite. But we've been trying to catch him, and I will show you our whole little setup. So I have a security camera that I had in my office at one point, but right now I took it out of my office and I put it in our warehouse, and that's how our setup is. That's our cage we have them in. As you can see, if you can tell in the video, I don't know if you can, doors are closed. Oh, he's actually in there. Well, he's in there because he's eating the food that's in there. The doors are closed, but I need to lower this TV down. Microphones are so sensitive. I have no memory of him being in that cage the day I recorded that. But you know, it'd be funny if I caught him sneaking out, because he easily snuck out of there. The problem with it is that is a fairly large cage for a small mouse. And we didn't really know if it was a mouse or not. We just assumed it was like, it could have been one, or it could have been like a chipmunk, because we get those around here. There's a nice coffee still sitting in here from yesterday that I have to throw away. I'll throw it out when I get to work. The problem is that's a fairly big trap, and he's small. But we've had it set up for a couple of days, and it sometimes didn't work, sometimes, you know, we thought it did and it didn't. So far it hasn't worked. I went in there yesterday and I'm like, the door's closed. Because I looked on the camera, I'm like, the door's closed, so maybe he's in there, he's just in a spot where I can't see. But then I noticed that the piece of bread was missing. I'm like, I wonder if someone just took it out. No one took it out, the bread was gone and the doors were closed. I still don't know where the bread went. I don't know if he ate it all. That was a fairly big piece of bread. It was like an entire slice. And it wasn't in there, so I'm like, what's going on? So last night we set it up, and I figured he would come out fairly earlier than normal because it was storming and it got pretty dark out. So I set everything up to be like it was nighttime, and I think he only came out an hour earlier, or that could have just been his normal time, because I think he normally comes out around like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. And I think I noticed him around 8:40. So I think that was fairly close to his time to come out, because during the day, you can't really see him or anything. And honestly, he's a little small that he doesn't set off the motion detection alerts on the camera. I think if it's the cage might set it off when like the flaps close, I don't know. I had some notifications at like 1 AM, but I don't know if anyone just went in there or not. because I was sleeping somehow. I noticed he got into my room at one point, and then, well, not like I didn't see him in there. He showed his ways. So there might be, like, I might be sleeping up in the office until we get him free. First off, look at how much cold foam I have. That's a lot more cold foam than usual. Shout out to Starbucks for giving me more cold foam than usual. All right, I gotta go now. I don't even know if I'm gonna vlog most of the day. Probably not. I don't even know why I just kind of grabbed the camera. But last night, I was looking around, I'm like, he's in there. He was walking all over the cage and stuff like that, and I'm like, he's gonna set off the trap, and he's not gonna be in there. But I wasn't even looking. I actually heard the doors shut, and I'm like, what was it? I actually thought it was like a door upstairs by my office that shut because it sounded so familiar. I look, and the doors are closed. I'm like, oh. And then I saw him in there, so I'm like, oh my God, we finally got him. And then here's a clip of us looking at him. Do you see him? Yeah. He's probably like, you bitches. I immediately stopped recording that video. He snuck out. He got out. So we're sitting there like, you gotta be kidding me. And then, come to find out, we reset the trap. He set her off again. I was sleeping at that time though. And then, I watched the video, I was watching the live feed because I don't pay for camera I'm not really using. And I'm not paying for, just to see recorded footage. And then I was watching it earlier this morning, and I watched him squeeze his way in between the grills of the trap, so he can go in and out as he pleases, even if the door's closed or open or not. So I'm gonna try to find a smaller cage. I think we might have a smaller cage around. I don't know if he got rid of it, but I need to find that. I'm gonna ask around work if we have one. If not, I'm gonna have to buy one, because I'm trying to find the most humane one, because I really don't want to like pick like one that's gonna kill him or one that's gonna like hurt him. Again, it's been a month. I'm ready to burn my house down. We kind of just want to like grab him and then let him go, even though honestly he'll probably not survive outside that long. But I would like, honestly, one of those traps would be like a last resort for me. Yeah, so it turns out there's two. There's not just one, there's two. I didn't vlog it, but we got rid of them. There was two. And I set it up again to make sure they're all gone. But in the, I got motion texture sometime late last night, and then I'm seeing something on the floor that I don't know if it's dust or if it's more, but I did sweep it up, so I'm hoping there isn't another one. Is that what I think it is? Oh my God. I'm like pretty sure I cleaned it. In this area. Focus, camera focus. See that? I'm like pretty sure I cleaned it yesterday. I sweeped over here. I'm pretty sure I swept down here. Right there. Does that mean there's a third? It would link up with the motion detection I had last night. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. Moving this down as I did yesterday. Get the knots out of the wire. And it's going down here so that I can see. I'm like really hoping there's not another one in there. It could have just been from like I didn't clean it right, or I didn't get all of it. But I'm like pretty sure I did. I'm like really hoping there's not another one in there. Really praying. There is. I'm looking at it right now. There was a third. I knew the droppings weren't new. Can you kinda, I think you can kinda see it. There's a third. That just, now my brain's wrapping around everything, because it's like, normally when there's more than one, there's more. But I was so confident we got it all. This is just, because now my brain's wrapping around the head. Is there even more? Was there more than 3? Dude, he can't get out, because he had to be in there for a while then. So he can't get out. Y'all, meet Shrek the Third. I had a sinking feeling that there was another one. First of all, lunch is the thing that I wanted to eat in here for, yes, perfect.
Either way.
Alright, update to the vlog. I actually made a TikTok about it.
I didn't release the other 3.
There was a 4th one, confirmed. There was a 4th one, I let it go myself. If you want other parts and other videos about this, go to my TikTok. Link should probably be in the description. I'm pretty sure it's in the description.
Hopefully this was the last one.
We'll find out if there's any more clips after this one. So yeah, I haven't really been recording about it because I'm not doing much about it. Well, I'm just gonna, if you guys want to see more about this whole mess, just go follow my TikTok. I'm posting more about it, and I can update you guys more. I can update you guys more frequently on it. So yeah, it's gonna be. But now on to the next segment of this video that was unplanned, and that is I've made a mistake. First, can you tell off of right here what it is? I'll give you a hint. It's in the dock area. What I did was, normally after a while I sometimes upgrade my stuff to the beta versions of the OSs. So the only one I don't think I've done was my iPad. So I downloaded the macOS 15 beta, and it messed up Final Cut Pro for some reason. But you know, but my M1 MacBook Air is also running the macOS 15 beta, but I think it's running Developer Beta 1. I think. So I'm thinking that version of the Final Cut Pro version that I have on it works on that version and not this one. So I'm trying to make a bootable drive, bootable USB to downgrade back, because I have time capsule backups of macOS 14. So that's what I'm working on. So I have a couple options, and that is do that, wait until I can find a compatible version of Final Cut Pro to work with this, so that I would either have to edit on the MacBook Pro, which I'd probably do, or edit on that really slow iMac that's in my room, or I pay the $399. Because I thought I can just go into recovery mode and it would download macOS 14, but for some reason, because sometimes when going back when I've done this, I was able to do that. Like when my old MacBook Air was running newer versions, I was able for some reason to download it back to Yosemite. For some reason, that's just what it did, until I upgraded to Big Sur, and then it just defaulted to Big Sur. And I don't remember doing it. I don't remember it doing that since then. So I kind of figured since I was on a beta, I'd be able to download Sonoma again, but no, it will just make me re-download the beta of this version. So I'm kind of stuck with making a bootable USB, wiping the computer, and then using the bootable USB to reinstall macOS Sonoma, and then just go off from my backup to do this. And it will not let me make a backup right now, and I don't know why. I don't know if I can probably do it on my iMac downstairs, because I have that hacked, so I have it running macOS Mojave, even though it doesn't. And for some reason it will let me download to Sonoma, so I could do it through there and make a bootable drive through that and see if that works. Will it work? I don't know. I don't know if it would make a hacked version of it. That's the problem, now that I'm thinking about it. This is why we don't. I've gotten lucky a couple of times where I can go a couple years with using beta versions of Mac OS, and I wouldn't have to re-download a new version. It would actually be compatible, and for some godforsaken reason, these last couple years, they said, you're not allowed. I fixed it. I can edit on my MacBook Air again, although I need to figure out how to make it so that it doesn't take 15 hours to put all my shit back on. You've been keeping up with the vlogs. This is 10.